We've been talking lately about how we don't have any rituals, which I think is kind of, sorry, I'm just in the middle of doing this. Yeah, we've been talking recently about how we don't have any rituals because every day is so different. And we've been wanting to adopt some because sometimes you start to feel really airy all over the place, like you don't have roots anywhere, which we don't. But I would like to have something that we do every morning so that I kind of feel grounded when I wake up, because we wake up at all different times in all different places. Sometimes we're hot, sometimes we're cold, and having something that we could come back to, I think, would be really nice.
These used to be cabinets that opened out, and so then I cut the cabinet doors and then made them into drawers so that you can see they're quite long. But I'm not really the best carpenter. I actually call it crapentry.
But they work well. They don't come out when we turn corners.
Yeah, they have this like 10-pound test to it, so
Yeah.
So it has like this.
You have to pull pretty hard to open them, because before they would just slide open all this, like whenever we turned a corner. And if we put too much stuff in there, it's kind of limited because it'll just fly open if it's too heavy in there. So it kind of naturally limits what we have. Daily, we spend a lot of time in nature. We walk barefoot. So I feel like that's definitely a grounding moment. Cooking is grounding to me. It's connection to the earth. So I cook, we cook 3 meals a day, which is really important to us. Well, we have a lot of leaks in our roof.
Yeah, I tried to fix one recently, but yesterday we found it was not fixed.
There's like, every time there's a storm, we find a new leak. So yesterday by the boat up there, we were like, there was just a flood coming in. Our floor was all wet. We were like trying to get it outside. And the worst is when that happens in the middle of the night and then it's like right over our heads because the fiberglass is kind of cracked. It's old. Our first year on the road was about 7 years ago, and we were sick of sitting at a desk. Even in college, for those few years, we wanted to go out and use our bodies for something. That was our goal. It wasn't really about living in the bus as much as we were like, let's go not get a job, that requires us to sit down again. So that first year that we lived in the bus, we kind of just directly hopped farm to farm. We didn't even travel that much. We stayed in California and just pretty much went from one farm to the other. And it was never for us really about even living in the bus as much as the things that got us. It's just a means to an end. So it's been a long time in this little space, but it works well. I don't know if it'll be what we do forever, but for the last 6 years combined, it's been pretty awesome.
I remember one of my uncles telling me, if you work 20 years really hard, you can set yourself up, be financially secure and have an awesome retirement. And we were living this life, working full-time, had 2 mortgages. I got 7 years in and I just totally fell apart. I was like, that life doesn't work, so what does? And get out and let sort of nature and the road and exploring help us figure out what was the right way for us to live. There's a line in one of my songs that sort of talks about those pressures from what people tell you to live your life or how society tells you what way you should live. What I was told was the way. Didn't seem to work that well for me. Find some space and time. Let the land and sea keep leading me. Let the land and After starting to meet so many interesting, creative people that are also decking out vans as homes and making life work for them, I didn't realise how many people are actually doing it in Australia and then all around the world.
But you've got to be really careful it doesn't, because it spreads it a lot easier.
I met up with Jared and Sam in Melbourne, and they were talking about how they were fitting out vans, making vans homes for people. And I was like, that is awesome. Like, you're helping other people hit the road. And my key passion is sharing people's stories, connecting people, building community.
I love the sound of it. It sounds like I'm opening a door with, on the Star Wars set.
So look a bit shabby now.
Yeah.
Anyone lactose intolerant?
There's heaps of those.
Where
Where do they come from?
Actually, no, I won't, because then this will just go to waste.
Woo! Let's get some ice cream!
Yeah, so we started Van Life Diaries on Instagram and Van Life Facebook and a website. And I connected with some of the van lifers overseas and in Australia and just said, oh, can I share your photos on here? Can I share your stories? Started with a couple of thousand followers in a few weeks, then jumped 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 within a few months, 100,000 people. The emails and messages were just flooding in, and it actually became quite overwhelming. Yeah, and that's where Kathleen came into the picture and just did amazing things for the community. Yes.
How are you guys?
We're
Kathleen! Kathleen!
Going?
The darling of Denver.
I met Johnny and Jared
I'm pining when the
online.
sun
There was a
sets
call
and-
out on Van Life Diaries for an American person to manage some of the American stories, and I applied, and I'm here.
We'll get to share it soon
Come
with
on,
you.
I wish I was there.
soon, not long, hopefully the end of June. Have you been chatting to any contacts about like gatherings? I saw you. Yeah, we started brainstorming ideas of different van life people in America that we could connect with, and what if we could work it out that we could get over to America and bring some of the things that were working really well in Australia with connecting with Indigenous people, connecting with the land, sharing stories, sharing music, and bring that Van Life Diaries Australian sort of flavour over to American gatherings.
Colorado, I think for sure.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Come on.
We contacted Where's My Office Now, Corey and Emily, who are just amazing and been doing van life for so long, sharing their story on the road.
I was thinking the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I'm just so excited about these
Maybe we
gatherings. Like the different people that are going to come together, the people we're going to meet.
Yeah, I'm excited to all be together in one place.
Hell yeah.
Hunter S. Thompson was making his way north, and Turtle Fire and Black Betty were coming this way, and Kathleen was coming this way, and I don't know where Johnny was. "6 a.m. About to leave and head to Denver to meet up with the crew. It's been struggling the last few days with the van. The van's back on the road. We got it fixed yesterday, and we made it to the Grand Tetons, and this is where we woke up. Check this out.
Now we're making our way down to Denver, Colorado to meet up with Kathleen for the gathering there. And I've never actually met Kathleen face to face yet. We've been working together for 3 years at least, and we've Skyped, FaceTime, so it's going to be such a special experience to see her face to face, give her a hug, and yeah, run a gathering together in the mountains in Denver.
This must be Jared.
There they are.
Is this Sam? This is Sam. All right. Hey, I gotta wave.
It was really great to meet up with Johnny and Jared in person.
Look at this thing.
Oh, it's a relic, man.
Amazing.
This is so cool.
Oh my God.
And when I met Johnny, we're talking about something we talked about last week. You know, I told him about my mice in the camper situation, and he told me about some of the struggles he's going through. And so it's pretty cool to have this deep connection with people before you even meet them. And I think that's just the power of social media right now.
Hi, how are you, Jared? Good to meet you. Good to see you guys in person.
Oh, yeah.
We're all here. You appreciate those days so much when you've been breaking down every day, and then you have a day you don't break down.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I love this van. It's
and
great.
that's the longest day that we've ever driven, because we're usually just doing like
maybe like
3-4 hours
Honduras.
max. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, we brought the sign from the last gathering.
No.
Yay!
So we're going to put that up somewhere tomorrow.
I mean, the big thing for me and for Johnny and Jared and Kathleen about this trip was about meeting these people that we hadn't met, but we knew from online that we'd share these stories. And then actually knowing these people, feeling like you know them, but then, you know, they're in the flesh. So being able to connect with those people was an amazing thing.
Living on the road, especially if you're doing it solo, it can be really lonely because a lot of the time you are just in the van going from place to place. So a lot of people appreciate van gatherings because it's actually a place like or a pinpoint in their calendar that they're like, I'm going to connect with like-minded people on that weekend. So Jane and Sam are up. Hey Sam, how'd you stay?
Cherry?
Oh, wow.
Cherry, welcome. A welcoming cherry.
That's part of the joy too with living in vans and van life as well, is that you open your van door, it's, you know, you don't have fences. There's no fences. So you're immediately out there and you're amongst it, you know. I guess that's one of the beautiful things about having all those people around that are in the same boat as you, is that they open their door and
Even if it's
everyone comes to meet
as
each
soon as
other.
you get out of bed.
Oh! 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 Okay. Oh! What? I'm safe. I'm safe. I've been born.
It's possibly the coldest water I've ever experienced. It was good. It's fresh. It's definitely French. You know.
What are we, 10,500 feet? It's too very cold. Your feet and your fingers start to ache straight away.
Where are you going to put those signs up, bro?
People are going to come from this direction. Oh, maybe put that one on there and put this one here.
That doesn't mean anything.
Well, then we can at least we can use the arrow then.
Okay, the arrow is really ruining this whole...
Unless you want to cover it all up with tape.
Maybe I could. Salzar?
I think put it on that one.
You can't put it there. The arrow's going the wrong
I'm going
way.
to block the arrow out with this.
Tape. You need tape?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
And we'll cancel out the arrow.
Van life.
Van life.
Oh, what are you talking about, Greg? It's van life.
I love that van life song.
Yeah. Get out and smell. Smell the...
I like that little dot because it's like full stop. This is where you belong.
Rocket. Oh, you got a sister as well.
Hello, gorgeous people. Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Sam. So I'm here from the Down Under, the Great Down Under. I've come over with Jared and Johnny here, my good buddies, and we do this thing called Van Life Diaries in Australia, but it's not ours, it's everyone's. And you guys are all van lifers. You
The
guys are all...
gatherings, I think, are one of the best things about van life. I remember when Johnny and Jared last year said, do you want to put together a Colorado gathering? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done one of those before. And they're like, you've got it. You've got it. You can do it.
We need a superhero. We need a superhero.
And
that's
then
sort of-
Kathleen came in. Yeah.
Kathleen has, she started Colorado gathering in this place a year ago, and it was 50.
60 rigs.
Yeah, and this one 1 year later is going to be like a couple of hundred or something.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
It's still early.
So that's from this girl.
It's just such an amazing experience. I mean, it's hard to even put into words because you feel so many different feelings when you're there. You know, you feel so happy because this group of people will never be in the same place ever again, like that particular group. You know, we all have different travel plans, and so the fact that we're all in that one place at that one time is pretty special. It can be pretty emotional, for me at least, because I form these connections with these people, and then you have to be in the moment, but also like just let it go.
Gatherings were designed for our community to own it. Like, it means that you bring anything you want to this space. If you play music, you want to share a song, there's a time for that. If you want to share a story, a poem, if you want to take people on a hike, if you want to do yoga, if you want to do all these things, you just say, oh, tomorrow I'm keen to do this, and you might have 10 of us go and do it, or 5, or it doesn't matter, you know. You might have all of us come and do it. Gang from Rock Meets Soil, everyone.
Free coffee, like right over there behind the screen tent.
Okay.
I absolutely love these gatherings. They allow me to refocus my brain and my mental energy and put me back on the right track. I love the conversations that I get in with the people out there. We all connect on a different level. We're kind of already past the icebreaker questions and the icebreaker conversations. People that I've been in contact with via social media for years, and I've never met them in person, and all of a sudden I get to give them a hug, and it's like we're long lost cousins or something.
So at each event that we do, we always like to set up a space where people feel valued and safe. Have the fire going, and we'll turn off the cameras and just have a conversation about life around the fire, where we'll chat about the journey, the hardships, what we're going through. It's such a freeing experience for everyone.
Opening ourselves up to someone else and saying, this is who we are, this is how we experience the world, this is how we experience life. There's beautiful light, and then there's darkness, and there's fear, there's doubt, there's insecurity, there's joy, there's hope. There's all these things going on inside of us. But when you have that deep connection and you really share authentically with someone or with a group of people, you feel okay to actually show the real you.
When we chose this path, we were rejected by a lot of close friends, people that were our family. They completely disregarded what we were doing, and still, you know, like, we have seen a lot of them since, and it's like they disconnect our decision to live this way. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. I went through a lot of depression and anxiety prior. So.
No, it's so beautiful. Like, thank you for being vulnerable.
And a lot of those people that rejected us, they didn't see that I was suffering. But the people that we have connected with in this community, there's so much love. And you can be vulnerable, you can just be. Something I couldn't do before this. I can be. Just be vulnerable, be sad, be happy, whatever. And it's completely accepted, just so pure.
I fucking love you guys so much, man.
You guys are just so beautiful, man.
Thank you.
It's okay to not be okay. I'm not okay all the time too, right? We're all getting our shit together constantly.
Oh God, yeah.
Jay, I love you, man.
Oh, I love you too, man. Thank you. People that get out on the road or are remaking their life or trying to gain some perspective on where they should be sitting in the world and with the universe, the van life is a great way to get out and do that. So it feels like there's support and people that have the time to speak to you about that stuff.
Oh, damn!
I wrote a very informative article on how to survive winter living in a van because it's rough and everyone thought that I was crazy to do a Colorado winter in the van, and I probably am, but it was fun. Sub-zero temperatures every other week, maybe, and everything freezes solid. The 7-gallon water jug freezes solid. I have to let water out of it so that it doesn't burst. All of the food, the eggs, everything, the bread is frozen. All of your toiletries are frozen, your shampoo, your deodorant, everything's frozen solid. We didn't have a heater, so we used buddy heaters. You're supposed to vent your windows, but sometimes our windows would be frozen shut. So we couldn't vent anything and we would just have to use our heater anyway. So we had 2 carbon monoxide detectors in the van, always wearing layers and sweatpants and never looking very put together. But we just figured we would go day by day and see if it got too uncomfortable, then I would rent a place. And it didn't, I guess. It probably did, but I still didn't want to rent a place. So we stuck it out, and then it got warm, and it was glorious. And I'll never do that again.
I'm sure different groups of people get together and gather for things, but I think we have something special because we have all of our houses there together, and so you have this look into everyone's lives.
My daily routine is just like anybody else. I get up, brush my teeth, go to the bathroom, go to work. I have a 24-hour gym membership. I take a shower. It's not necessarily the van life, it's just freedom in itself. I mean, I was born in Jamaica, so when I came here, I've always felt that I was out of place. I was a tree outrooted from its natural soil, put into something else that really didn't suit them right. So it's all about really just freedom, and this movement just gives you an idea of a different way of living a lifestyle that you want. This is just something that I choose to do.
For people on the outside, they don't know that van life is a thing and people choose to do it. They kind of see like, oh, these people probably drink too much or smoke too much pot. A lot of people actually use houselessness as a form of resistance against capitalism, like against a form of government or capitalism that they disagree with. So it's kind of the opposite of being homeless, right? It's filled with agency. Like they're choosing to do this because of something that's driving them.
Welcome. Even though I put parsley on it.
The first year we lived in the bus was 2010, so it's been quite a few years now. And yeah, it gets tight sometimes. Kicked me out of the bus once. I had to sleep next to the fire all night. So,
that was a low moment.
It happens.
That was a bad night. Yeah, it gets tough sometimes. I think the hardest time to live in here is the winter. We've had to make boundaries, especially during the winter where we're like, okay, you go upstairs. We call our bed up the upstairs. We're like, you go upstairs for the night. I'll stay down here and we'll kind of alternate. So one person will go up there and read for the evening. The other person will stay down and do whatever, use this space. And that's really important. It's really hard with identity. We have not been apart for more than like a couple hours in years. And with that, you're like, who am I? Where do I end and this other person begins, which is not how marriage is, I don't think, for a lot of people. Like, it's like a...
Right, we don't spend 8 hours a day apart and then come back and say, hi, honey, how was your day? We spend 24 hours a day together. We gave ourselves the greatest freedom and the greatest power to be able to choose to do whatever we want. But in that, we have the greatest struggle that if something is bad, it's because we did it.
Only our fault. We have no one else to blame. You know, it's just us.
I'm really fascinated by the reasons that people set off in this lifestyle, and I think it's pretty cool that some people are doing it for their work, you know, turning their van into a coffee shop or into a jewelry studio or something like that, or a, you know, clothing business.
I have a online drum school. People dig that I'm in a different place all the time, giving drum lessons really through my phone.
You know, when you're, working a 40-hour-a-week full-time job, you're basically giving away your life to something. And this has been kind of about like reclaiming our time. So, we're spending less money. We don't need as much. We have fewer things.
For me personally, I've grown dramatically as far as working on patience, because everything just takes a little bit longer than it did. And the old house, like, if I want to cook something, I have to take all the pots and pans out to get one specific one and put it all back individually. But it's slowed me down a lot, which is good, because I got very wrapped up in the go, 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 go of our previous lifestyle.
A lot of times at least I want to get something done every day, but you don't really need to get something done every day. You can overwork yourself, so I just make this on the side, and then I don't have to concentrate on working on something else. Kind of clears your mind and just gives you something to get that nervous energy out. So one block of wood and made into a chain and a ball in the bottom there. I made the whole thing with this knife here. So you just chip away at it little by little. You get nervous if you're working on like the fourth chain, and if you crack it, then you lose all those ones. So kind of gives you something to concentrate on and be patient about, teach you to slow down.
Yeah, someone was asking us last night, like, is van life a fad? And at first I wanted to be like, fad, like maybe, but in my mind it's not a fad, it's more of a movement. I think a lot of people see it as trendy and see it as something they want to get in because everybody's in it right now and they're looking at the Instagram shots and they want to be a part of it, but I think it's more of a movement of people that are all wanting to escape society for a life of more freedom and minimalism. And so they're all kind of searching for, how can I be creative with how I can make money? How can I use my hands more? How can I be in nature more? And, van life is very appealing.
I love it. I think it's so fun, like having guests in the van. I get so excited.
It's like it's bed and breakfast.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm opening up bed and breakfast in my van.
You have to share the bed with me.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You don't get your own bed. We all share one
bed with me and bring your own food.
And pay me for gas.
Well, our goal is like on the website.
When I'm somewhere longer than 3 days, I get antsy. I never know what state I'm in because I'm moving around so much. And to me, that's awesome. It keeps every day interesting. I don't know who I'm going to meet the next day. I don't know what I'm going to eat the next day. I don't know what problems I'm going to have, what lessons I'm going to learn. The mystery of it is so exciting.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So good, yeah. Social media is a great place to connect, share photos, write messages, but there is nothing like how we meet people on the road face to face and share stories and really connect be real, be raw and honest. You can't do that through a phone screen or a computer screen.
And he ended up marrying her. And they moved back to New Zealand.
We're using this social media platform to help people find their people. It's not a club. It's society working through the changing of technology, trying to use that to help people around us to help find the people that make them happy. Then Jim's van wouldn't start. We couldn't get Hunter S. Tomp's van going, so Turtle Fire entered the fray, and then sure enough, we tied a rope around the back, and then we were off.
We're just dead as a door now. It's as if you took.
All right, then, cool. Let's go. Let's give it a stab in the dark.
So Jim, I'll pull it if you just sort of ride behind, and once I get that toe, just let it. I'll catch up to me, and I'll just keep staying ahead so that we don't keep going.
Yeah. All right.
You're getting close now, Jared. That's it.
Whoop. So when you lose power steering in these E150 vans, they're hard to turn. I'm just holding the brake really tight to keep tension on this yellow tow strap. It's only about 12 feet long.
Jim had to sit on the brakes the whole time, so his brakes were starting to go and smell as well. Like it was pretty scary.
Got a problem. There's a hook in the engine.
Yeah, we made it down and then we left the van there. We were all pretty tired after that.
Okay, I've got a tow truck's gonna come up from Bailey and take it up to the nearest mechanic who's got an auto electrician who comes in the morning.
Yes,
Right,
perfect.
so I'm just gonna leave the key with Dawn at the hotel.
Oh, nice.
And so we can just head off. They'll be here within a couple hours.
Just left keys to our vehicle with this guy we don't know in Bailey. Oh no, this is even Bailey. This is Grant. He's the only guy in Grant, so he seems trustworthy. I'm sure he's a sweet guy.
Off we go, team.
So we just left the Colorado gathering.
I love it.
Kathleen, who helps run it, we've come down to where she lives in Morrison, and she's taken us to another free camp spot in the forest, and so it's pretty cool to be able to come from a beautiful gathering and then still be able to camp in the woods. Hello, you two. Oh, they're still asleep. We'll give them some more time to sleep, hey? When you're pitching the ride with someone, so with Clarissa from Canada, and I've got a fair bit of extra stuff, so I've got to put it in the front at night when we sleep, all my music gear, and then put it on the bed when we drive.
Yeah, we have to clean up about like 5 times a day.
Yeah. Yeah, there was 4 people in this bed, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's totally the egg salad. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. So stinky.
Oh.
What Clarissa needs to do, get a battery, some solar power on the roof, and then you'll have this beautiful fridge.
And I will
Keep
never have to
everything
clean a
cold.
cooler again.
No, exactly.
Oh boy.
Nancy Jane, she's an old girl.
Yep.
She just takes a bit of warming up.
Morning, everyone!
Oh, wow!
There you go.
And she takes about 10 minutes just sitting, getting fiery and warm, and then we're off. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you, brother. See you in a week.
Thanks for everything.
Enjoy.
I appreciate your hard work. Yeah.
See you now, girl.
Yeah. It's good to meet you. Bye now.
I grew up very connected to the outdoors, and I grew up as a very physical person, like an athlete, and started surfing pretty young and snowboarding and all that. So I had that, but I went down the path of what was expected of me. So I did a lot of different jobs along that line. I freelanced for the New York Times, and I worked for Sotheby's International Realty, prestigious real estate agency. And I just thought I had to. I thought I was going to play the game and I was going to like it, but I never really acknowledged what my passions were. So I kind of suffered from it. I had extreme anxiety, sitting in front of a desk for 10 or 12 hours a day, and was a lot for me. So I learned a lot at that point. I learned a lot about myself and what makes me happy.
Stepping from the comfort zone, it only told you to be shy. Shy and walk the thing, shy in this fake dream, shy of living free. As the mind turns its useless ways to think, we'll be rising far beyond where we just came from.
Where's my toothbrush? Yeah, you've been using my toothbrush for days, haven't you? That's what happens when you get in a van. You start using each other's toothbrushes.
Yeah, you get very close. That's for sure. Try this pee bucket.
No, I don't use your pee bucket.
You have absolutely.
I don't go
used
near the pee bucket.
pee bucket.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It smells so bad.
Corey, that's good. Don't even talk about it.
It's your pee.
Ew.
We have this Instagram following that we've built for a long time. We have a lot of followers, which is cool. It's an amazing thing that we get to share our mentality and our ideas with
our
passions with people. But it's almost more important to me to hear what other people have to say. If you're the one always talking, and I guess James told me this, because I talk a lot. If you're always talking, you're not learning.
So this is me in my cartoon form. It's my self-portrait. Doesn't really look anything like me, but it's a side of myself. We started offering the annotated books right when our book came out. We got 80 orders of people who were just like, yeah, I want you to mark this thing up. So knowing that someone who would read my book would care about me marking it up enough to pay extra for that has been like kind of mind-blowing to me. It's all JR's photos, and I did all the writing. So the real goal was we'd have this thesis statement about reclaiming idle time and leisure time, because we think that our society focuses way too much on work. And what are, and exploring the idea of what is the distinction between those three types of time. And definitely being on Instagram and social media, I do write, but they're primarily visual-based platforms. So it's been really cool to write the book and really explore this idea of what is a career? Do we want careers? Do people want them? Are careers perhaps something that should not exist? And then this idea of what does it mean to do nothing? I think that in the modern world, a lot of people don't give themselves a lot of time to think about these things. By simplifying our life and needing less, we had a lot of time to explore these ideas. And it just felt right to us, almost like we had an obligation to society, that it was almost selfish to keep some of these ideas in. So to us, it was a way of giving back. We had taken this time for ourselves as young people to go around and see things and just think and have space, and we wanted a gift to give back.
Opposites attract. You always find a mate who you have no idea. Like, I don't understand her at all, and I don't understand how she comes up with things in her head like that. Like, I see something there, and I'm like, okay, let me put that inside this box, and let me help other people see it.
When people read this book, I would like them to feel the ideas that they had previously are crumbling, but in a light way that makes them feel hopeful, not in a way that their reality is shattered. What I want to do is break down paradigms that exist, but give hope that those can be rebuilt in much better ways.
So Kathleen, all the alfoil on the walls, is this to keep out people? What have you been doing in here?
These are insulation blocks wrapped in radiant barrier. And they're great for the summer and the winter because you pop it in here, and in the summer, it keeps it nice and cool in here. It traps the heat outside instead of allowing it to come inside. And then the winter, it just keeps all the heat in here and keeps it nice and warm. And also, even just cooking in your space in the wintertime, you probably find this too. Like, heats it up super fast in here.
Cool. That's funny that you said cooking in here keeps it warm, because Clarissa was like, I can't get my heater to work. And Johnny was like, let's just make some soup or something like that.
Yeah.
And so they just like turned their stove on for like 10 minutes and it was like all nice and toasty.
Yeah, makes sense. I'll be completely honest and say that living small was really difficult for me, and still is in a way. I don't want to sugarcoat it. Yeah, I think living in a small space, you're forced to talk to strangers, you're forced to rely on other people. And especially as a solo traveler, you have to put yourself out there and tell people what you're going through, and you have to ask for things. For me, that's always been really hard because I want to do things all on my own, and I want to be self-sufficient, but all of us can offer something in this world, and there's such a joy when you can help someone. And I felt that just by being there for other people. So I just try to tell myself that, if I'm going through something and someone can help me in that situation, and I ask them and they can provide, that it will come back again in some form, and I'll be able to do that for somebody else.
This one for you. You're gonna come to Bend with us?
I want to.
Wow.
Just pull the trailer
Saddle
behind
up.
the camera.
Yeah, right?
Saddle up, we'll tow your little pony behind us. Yep.
Yeah, no
not this,
kidding.
though.
That was
Nah.
amazing, you guys.
Mm.
Eugene, that's the capital of Oregon.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Eugene.
No, it's not. It's Salem.
Salem, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's on camera as well.
We just think we know what we're talking about over here.
There's an awesome canyon that you
Wow.
drive through.
Is that John Wayne Canyon? Wow. How we keep going.
Capitol Reef National Park. This is all Escalante Canyon. This
Wow.
is like a staircase that takes you down to the Grand Canyon, which is like right here. Farms. You would come through Carbondale, which is where I'm at, and just take this little loop around, and then it would bring you back, and you pass through Palisade.
How long do these roughly take? Is this like
An extra 2 hours.
an hour, 2 hours?
It would probably be about 2 hours to get from Glenwood to Paonia.
Oh yeah. I think we had a week to get from Colorado up to Nia Bay on the peninsula of Washington State. So we decided to hit that with Black Betty, Jim, and Dustin and Naomi came as well.
One of the most inspiring things, like when you buy a van, not just like getting a vehicle, you're realistically getting a community. You're getting like a family, like a larger family. For a lot of people too that maybe didn't have like a tight-knit family or didn't feel as connected to their family, this is truly like coming home. You have this beautiful union with people that are very like-minded, and ideas can flow.
And also different though. Maybe the acceptance. We're all open to each other's differences.
In a way, getting in these vans is like tearing down the white picket fence. You know, the American dream of having the white picket fence around your house, in a way, like causes separation between you and your neighbors.
Let's get.
Hi.
Thank
you. I went on vacation with my zucchini clam stick.
That happens to everyone all around the world, I think.
I think so.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for putting the socks aside for me.
I'm getting better at putting socks together though.
You're not getting any faster though.
We're in some sort of hurry, are we?
No, we're not. Beep, 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 beep.
We ventured into the woods in Oregon and we camped around this beautiful little water spot.
Oh, dude, there was this. This was on my chest.
It's not too cold though. It's fucking freezing. Nah, it's delicious.
I got up in the morning and had 2 flat tires. One flat tire, and then later on that day, another one happened on the other side. Luckily, someone had the same model van as me, so we could have these 2 replacements.
Yeah, it's just a groove.
We just kept on keeping on. It felt like we could keep doing that, even with these vans that were like... Jared and Ashley's van was a 70s relic.
Now, screwdriver.
You spend so much time in Irie's innards. I can't care anymore. So, these are the hands of a female on the road. Dirtbag darling.
So, turned out to be just a fuel line. Hose clamps came loose and
we were spraying fuel all over the ground. But fortunately, we had some extra fuel line and some hose clamps, and
Always carry parts, extra
Yeah.
hoses, clamps.
enough to rebuild the van, basically.
Yeah.
Is there a nail in it anywhere? Is it a leak?
I reckon there's something just down where it's been flattened here.
So the burnouts you mean doing Sam?
It's all those burnouts.
It felt really like we had this sort of pit crew along the way. We had the support for someone to be able to go and get help, or someone to be able to run and get fuel, or a tire or a part, something like that.
Woo!
Hold on. Yeah, it's a little rough here. Oh, uh-oh. Whoa.
We hit a high point on that one.
Of all of the things for that to happen on, we've driven over so much shit.
I know. Just
We've
this
been
little
up Jeep
bump.
trails. That's fucking
We've been down
crazy.
this road twice today. Fuck that thing. Shit, man.
Well,
Well
shit.
done. There's a hose right there that's sheared off. Right there.
Maybe we did hit it before, so it was loose.
No, we've never
I
hit
don't
that
think
before.
we have either, though.
Likely we're gonna have to get it towed to somewhere with a real shop, or not buy a shop that's gonna fix that today.
Does it have anything about that part in the manual?
Kit, the fucking thing it's sheared off of the block.
Yeah.
Do you know what cast iron is? It was cast as one part.
I know. So you can't cast it back together?
Nope.
Look, that could
That
be.
would be an epic
That could be
next
you.
6 months.
Right there.
That would be us.
I don't think we have time to do that. We're gonna have to get a job.
Well, I can do it after picking. 2
Yeah.
hours a day.
Yeah, and we'll be there for like 8 months.
You know what? That's actually kind of funny. Probably because of the external oil cooler, because that's
It
this.
sits down lower.
Yeah, this part right here was what was screwed onto the original
Yeah.
filter, so that the external oil cooler could be on there. So now it's the lowest point of the engine.
Yeah. That's why.
Which it shouldn't
that's
be the
why we
lowest
took
point
the
of the engine.
external oil cooler off because
there was two
it would-
hoses that came
the
out here
hoses
that
would
used to
get
leak.
caught.
You can get caught on things and leaks.
The hoses would get caught, and he could always fix that because we knew this was the lowest point of the engine. So we would like catch on ice and stuff all the time, and then so we were like,
Well, it
fuck
happened
it. That's,
twice. So then we got it taken
yeah,
out.
we just took it out.
But we didn't have this part taken out, so now it ripped off the block. for
Yeah,
lack
it's
of
almost
that
like when
part.
we got that taken off, we should have just
Well, I
gotten.
didn't know that this part existed.
Yeah, we should have looked at it more.
Right. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. We should have done it better. Thanks. I know we should have done it better. We definitely should have done it a little bit better than this. Next time, we'll do it better.
Well, we could. There's peaches, and then there's lavender there,
Yeah,
and then
go all the way through to grapes. So
yeah,
we can make the money back.
yeah, there's a vineyard. Yeah, there's vineyards all over there. So we could just do those fruits. Huh?
We'll just work the summer away. That'll be fun.
You were going really fucking fast.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were.
We drove over that hill 3 times today.
Yeah. I guess that's when you're the most reckless, is when you're doing something that doesn't feel scary to you.
We've talked a million times that, like, if Sunshine caught fire, we just grab our backpack and walk. You know, it's not really about the bus in the end of the day anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, we're going to live our life and continue moving on. We're gonna get her fixed too, but you know, it's not about
We have money
the
to get her
bus.
fixed.
We'll get a job, we'll get her fixed, and we'll move on with life. You know, there'll be another summer next year, and then we'll have this view again.
It's a bummer
you know?
it happened in the middle. Like summer is.
Summer's a good time to go out, but you know.
It'll be okay, but it's just it's just weird to be without your house. Like we always have our house right next to us, so it's just outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
To be just you.
I mean, it's kind of funny standing here right now.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hiking these trails too long now.
We were all aching to go to a hot spring, and Naomi found this one that we had to hike along a lake, with this beautiful sort of volcanic area. And just being able to do that kind of stuff on a whim, like not having this plan, like we knew we had to be somewhere by a certain date or around that date. We could be there the day before or the day after, but just off the top of your head, let's go down this road and see where it goes to, you know. And then let's stay here the night. That's a big plus for van lifers.
We know. It is. Oh, it's one of them over here. Look at that. It's too hot, eh? Oh, poor little guys are just sort of floating upside down in here.
They still have their tail?
Yeah, that's their legs out there.
Yeah. Oh.
Out to the sides.
Water polo? You have to do that with your legs.
Synchronize.
Synchronize, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You did it. We did it.
That was good.
Thanks, guys.
That was even better.
Try again.
You
guys are home?
We're heading up to Nia Bay today, top of Washington, to see Emily and Corey. Where's my office now? They're running this next van life gathering. And Jared and Sam are coming across from Oregon, and yeah, we're gonna all meet up by the coast there.
I'm Corey, this is Emily, or Where's Muffs Now. We got in touch with these nice folks over here from Van Life Diaries. They gave us a little nudge to put together a meetup this summer, so we decided to come here, Hobart. And I just want to thank you guys all for coming.
It's so nice for us to be here, to see your faces, to meet the people around, and we're just like, oh my God, like, I know your van. I feel like I've stood inside it before.
We've shared your pictures and your stories, and now to get to see you face to face.
It's so special.
Cool. From our point of view, we'll do a yarn tomorrow, maybe around 4. We'll put it on the whiteboard. That's where we get together like this, and it's not us talking, it's you. It's you guys sharing your stories, and
just chatting about things, you know, it's always a lot of fun.
Sometimes I stand on the edge with the wind in my face, my thoughts disarrange.
We love to connect with the people of the land and the nation that we're on, to pay respects to the First Nations people. And Corey and Emily had gone to the effort to do that. So that's what made the Nia Bay gathering so unique too, is that they did that. And as soon as you feel like you have a connection with the land through the First Nation people there, it's like it changes your experience with your environment, I think.
We had a man that prophesized some things that went on.
And they did really beautiful workshops there too. They did weaving and
storytelling.
You're not. It's important when you're twisting and making your rope.
Like, that stuff is just so valuable, you know, like passing down information still the same way that they were doing hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
It's like a razor blade.
All right, well, here we go.
It's raining.
You'll never guess what happened. You never. So we were cruising down a little side road, and we kind of got a little high-centered, and
smashed into the oil filter. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is I don't think we're gonna make it to see you. It's terrible news.
yeah, it's it's pretty ridiculous.
So what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I think at this moment, I think it's gonna have to be that I have to get a whole new engine block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need a new block, man.
Yeah.
Mostly I was just calling you to tell you what was up and say I'm sorry.
Because we were headed your way, and we really wanted to see you guys.
You're telling me you gotta give that to them.
I feel like breakdowns are like one of the things that I think everyone should go through, because when you break down, you end up like catching up with all the good people out there.
And it's a practice in finding like the ease and the discomfort too.
Yeah.
Because even now, if we have a mechanical issue, we're like, oh man, you know, that feeling of like dread for a moment, but then we realize and remember that it's always worked out, and we've met incredible people from breakdowns, and yeah, it's like the adventure.
You really don't. You get like excited when we break down. You like just start filming me freaking out. I'm like under there being like, oh, this isn't good. And you're like, all right, can you move to the left a little bit?
Can you repeat that
Can you
frustration?
repeat that frustration?
This morning, Brian helped us. And
Thanks, bro.
this is Martin.
I'm Martin.
This is Martin.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Martin.
And then
I'm the one that brought the fish.
he's the one that brought
that fish.
So it's cedar strips here, and then we're gonna go lean it towards the fire, and it'll go like 45 minutes.
Yep.
And this is a king, right?
Yep.
And this is
White king.
a white king. Martin was telling me yesterday this is like the fattier, more delicious salmon that we never get to see in the store.
Good.
So,
Yes. Thanks, Martin.
Corey and Emily were great. It was lovely to meet them. That was cool. And the food that they left for us, that they smoked for us, that was so delicious.
we're gonna add this. And we're gonna add the whole pot.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
That's how you make a gumbo.
Then we get everything coated in that roux.
Dangerous.
For people that don't always have a journey of wanting to have healthy food on the road,
No,
they don't.
not
like,
everyone gets excited about it. Whereas that's something that really excites me. And then when I can create that and then share it with people, then that's just something that I like to do.
Just one beat at a time, please.
Only one beat.
One beat
I'll get I find peace within the things I love. Sometimes you gotta wonder, sometimes you gotta wonder why. Sometimes you gotta wonder why.
This is the morning ritual, you know? It's like, probably don't need the coffee, but there's something about making coffee while you're traveling. And life in general, I think it's like this routine. You know, you have your practice in the morning of your individual way of creating your perfect cup.
Oh, more water.
Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect frothy head on my coffee. When you come to a van meetup, it's like half about showing off your like space that you live in, because we all want to like learn from each other. Like, oh, what was the mod that you did? Oh, you did that with your cabinet. That's how you store your food. You know, it's this thing. Oh, you have magnetic spice jars. And I guess, you know, being able to share your home so freely is kind of a unique thing.
We're finding that as much as we need solitude, we also need community. And so van life gives us the freedom of time and the freedom of location to make both of those happen in really beautiful places connected to nature.
For gatherings, we didn't want it to be anything like a festival. We wanted everyone to feel that they could contribute or be a part of it. So gatherings are open for people to bring their gifts, talents, their passions, and actually share it with others.
It's like a tattoo. You just let them.
Yeah.
It's like a tattoo.
It may become a tattoo after this, honestly, because it's that amazing. Oh, it's got my my little nose jewelry that he did on the grill, and then threw in my my plugs hanging from the mirrors with the little captain's hat and the beard hanging down from the bumper. It's just perfect, man.
You just gotta look at the camera and like, right there.
I mean.
I did numerous album covers for Dolly Parton, Neil Diamond, Steely Dan, Elton John, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Captain Beefheart, Linda Ronstadt, Tim Buckley. I started working when I was 15 and worked continually until just a few years ago. I'm making up for lost time. I have health issues. I wanted to stop and just travel in my vehicle, and I wanted to do that not owning anything. My sister used to say, you never see a hearse with a trailer behind it.
It's a good one.
The craziest thing about van life is you'll sit around a fire and there'll be the ex-Marine, the hippie, the fisherman, people from all different walks of life. And you can all like come together and learn from each other still. And negativity is definitely not, I would like to say it's not even really accepted. We really don't like to harbor those negative vibes within the community.
we really try to focus on all the positive attributes of having an amazing community and getting to experience, the world the way that we do.
Early on, my family thought I had gone off the deep end. They were not happy. My dad actually sat down with me one day and told me that I was a bad return on investment. And he assumed that me choosing to live this way meant that I would never be self-sufficient. It was pretty bad there for a little while. We didn't really talk, and yeah, it was just pretty much cut off. I wasn't really part of the family. I've learned in listening to people that everyone has a different language that they use, and I've become a lot more understanding. I was very extreme on one side, my father was really extreme on the other side, and I think that where we're at in our relationship right now, we've been able to meet somewhere in the middle. I've realized if I want that relationship, I have to accept him just as much as he has to accept me. And he's been really supportive about the book, and sometimes emails me tiny houses, which is his way of showing that he reads about the movement. That's been really interesting to watch that shift in him, which means that there is a cultural shift going on. I can see that if my father is talking about tiny houses and things like that, something is happening here.
Yeah, Penny is all good. You gonna stay? Hey, stay.
After the Nia Bay van gathering with Emily and Corey, the international van life community were watching on and just asking, is there anything else? You guys have done this cool tour across America.
Ensuite, vers 7 heures, on a le fameux band Clay and Friends. Je vais les annoncer tantôt aussi, vous raconter un peu mon histoire.
Julian was actually running a go van gathering in Quebec and invited us over there to check that out and see what he was doing there with the community. And
now with social media, I think people forget the human story. So we're all numbers, or we're all accounts or handles. But hey, guys, can we talk about the person? It's important for the humans to connect in real life, and this is what Campo is all about.
Then we were invited to Berlin, Germany, with the Berlin travel crew over there, and we ran a gathering on the river there and met European van lifers and shared some cool experiences with them.
Ja, hallo. Der Tagesspiegel ist einfach vor ein paar Tagen an mich rangetreten und hat gesagt, diese Vanlife-Community, das wird immer größer, es ist immer interessanter.
Gatherings are getting big everywhere, and probably the biggest gathering that we know of is Descend on Bend in Oregon, where 400 to 500 vans turn up.
People think it's about the vans, but it's really about the people. With this, I feel like this is really special because there's so many people that you might not pass these people on the road or in a gas station or at random, but they will all be here again next year. So I sold the van.
I heard. I'm glad.
But it's all okay.
Yeah. No.
By this time, I'm so overwhelmed by people's just kindness and generosity, barely operate, 400 trees in here we're gonna plant today. This thing was stacked to here when we got here with just stuff and toilet paper and barbecue things. 3,000 tortillas up there. It's a little place in town in Bend where it's just a carniceria. And I went in and I said, I asked the guy, I said, "Do you guys make homemade tortillas?" See. Did you do 3,000? See. Just like, no change, no problem, whatever you need. Sure enough, he had 3,000 tortillas for me the next day. Yeah, the whole atmosphere of this place is just incredible. We had 180 kids this year, and like, no one worries about them. Everyone has eyes on them. They form a little herd mentality, you know, and no one's here to take everything they can. Everyone brings stuff to give, you know, especially of themselves, you know, time, talent, treasures, like, we get it all. We just want to thank you guys all so much for being here. It means the world to us. This is the only time this year a microphone will be in front of this beard. I feel like it's a chance for people to let their guard down. You know, they don't have their phone in their hand. I love having this thing out here where there's no cell phone service. I haven't seen one person on their phone, you know? I hate that just modern life, like society today is like, oh, hey, like, okay, sorry, I gotta just, you know, nice to meet you. What was your name again? So I feel like that's a really important thing to go from here and take it so far beyond like just meeting someone, you know. After this, we'll have post-camp and they'll travel thousands of miles and climb and do all these things together, and there's like a lifelong, real connection. I think it's powerful. As it grows, there's more small fires. And I feel like the fires almost represent like little satellites of like connections that have been made in previous years. And it sort of represents people's relationships. Like if people spend the whole time this year around the main fire, it means it's probably their first year. So they're like starting the connections, and then when people circle the wagons and they're just around a smaller fire, they're like, boom, we've made the connection last year. These are now our friends this year, and like we've planned to camp together. You know, we're staying in our little group, you know, and I think it's great. Those are like small fires, deeper connections. I think that's kind of how it works.
The end of June. The best was like they moved the wood chips in all day long.
Yeah, they'd like to move them back and forth. Yeah. We just put some over here, and then we'll put some over there, and then if we could bring them back over here, that would be good.
They just needed to, they're like, we're eventually going to build this ground up above the high tide level.
All right, so I think this is adequately.
We got
We have
cheese.
yogurt.
Sore.
What?
I mean,
Cheese.
We got cheese we can put on top.
And bratwurst.
just keep chopping vegetables. I think it's kind of a revolving door in a way. Like there's always people interested in some sort of nomadic lifestyle, whether that be for, you know, a couple weeks, a few months, or a year. So
Do you think it's growing?
Yeah, of course. I think it's
Like it's growing substantially, wouldn't you say, with social media?
yeah. I mean, it's definitely gaining popularity right now, and I think a lot of that has to do just with people choosing like their happiness and well-being over, you know, a prescribed career or financial success. That's not saying that, you know, we've definitely talked about what it would be like to have some sort of like tiny home or a yurt or something, some place where we could go and reset and ground, maybe work on projects, but know that we can also get up and leave and go and keep exploring. Yeah. Yeah. Enjoy. Have fun today.
Hope
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Enjoy, guys.
You too.
Best of luck.
You too.
It's much easier to be a pessimist and just say, well, well, there's nothing I can do. But we believe that personal change is where it's at. We think that the world can change through one person changing, and I think that that's why van life is such a powerful idea to people. It's an idea that you can take control of your own life, and in doing so, you actually are part of a ripple that changes everything. So I think, that's what I would hope people feel called to action, not in a way of necessarily like addressing huge social problems, but addressing their own wants and desires, addressing the things that they dream for, because I think if people chase their dreams, the world is a more beautiful place.
I'm someone everyone should know. I'm a lost child of America. That's what they say about me anyway. Freedom, she's my sister. That's what I say about me, and it's the damn truth. I've been traveling the open road with my pal JR for over 4 years now. We travel every day of the year, hot or cold, wind-ridden or pushed out by heavy rain. We seek nothing, but we find everything, beauty and wonder and the next job to fuel our hungry bellies. We go all over the place. Come to think of it, I can't remember the last time we woke up in the same spot 2 nights in a row. You can call us bums if you want. Personally, I prefer the term seeker. It has a certain dignity to it, and dignity is something I believe in. You see, I like what's rare. You might say I'm a collector of endangered concepts, a bum who enjoys philosophy. Yeah, we bums still exist. Maybe if you called us seekers, you'd know that. Some simple civilians think the term went out of fashion a long time ago. But we bums, we're making do. No, but you probably haven't seen us living on the peripheries of America's strip mall jungles as we do.
I've been waiting for a day like this for so long now, so long. Let's hit up the beach and take a dip. It's all ours, let's chill out. I don't mind if the sun don't shine, 'cause I am next to you. We're going down the road we only dreamed about. We're lighting up the dark on the other side. We're losing track of time, but it doesn't count. We're free spirits like gypsies in the outback. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, 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 hey. The dream on moonchild, walk the sun. Let's walk together, walk as one. Feel the sand between your toes. We're living free, not living alone. I don't mind if the sun don't shine, 'cause I am next to you. We're going down the road we only dreamed about. We're lighting up the dark on the other side. We're losing track of time, but it doesn't count. We're free spirits like gypsies in the outback. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like gypsies in the outback. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're free spirits like gypsies in the outback.
Hide away in the hills, collecting my thoughts, slowing down, living simply, filling up my heart and soul. If we let it, this rock can take us, make it all fall down. Don't you let it take your mind and find a hideaway. From the mountains to the sea, took my worries, set them free. From the mountains to the sea, all my baggage lost its hold on me. Coming home with what I've seen has brought me back